Hey guys, Gameboy3800 here once again, and if you saw my recent announcement video, you know what this is, but in case you haven't seen it or you don't care, I'm going to tell you anyways. I have decided to rebuild an old project. This project was called Project Magma. It had an old AMD FX 9590. At the time, that was the best AMD processor around, but now it's the Ryzen 7 chips, and soon possibly Ryzen 9, whatever they're going to call it, probably Threadripper. And yeah, I have a majority of the parts here, and we can begin building today. So first of all, this here is the motherboard. And this is mounting, assuming I can get it off here. How did I screw this on? And this is mounting for a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo that we will not be using. There we go. I love the Hyper 212 mounting. It's like LGA, AMD. So like, how simple can you get? Oh, I really hope you notice I have lighting now. Yay. Not sure if it'll be permanent lighting, but lighting for this video nonetheless. So here we can see the lovely AMD FX chip. Looks real good. And the cool thing is, I actually managed to get the motherboard, processor, and cooler all for $170. That is the same price as a Ryzen 5 1400. And then we have 8 GB of G-Skill, DDR3, 1600 MHz. There's the rest of the Hyper 212 Evo box. I will take off the old mounting here. One thing I don't like about the mounting though is the way the backplate goes on. I will be saving the Hyper 212. The Hyper 212 is a great cooler, as I'm sure many PC enthusiasts already know. It would probably do really good cooling this really high TDP processor, probably even be able to overclock it a bit, but that's not good enough for me. What I did end up getting though was an AM4 mounting bracket adapter thing with backplate, or maybe with backplate, I don't know. So I can use this on a future AM4 system if I do choose to do so. Still supports LGA. Alright, so I can use a 212 on any system I want, so that's cool. Making sure all the things are through, so that I can put everything but the back plate into that tiny box. We have one screw still holding on for dear life here. Alright, which one is it? Oh, okay. It's falling out. Into the box. Into the box you go. Now I can put those into the 212 box at a later date. Now you may notice that there's no mounting backplate of any kind. Look here. Now we do. This is an AM3 mounting bracket. I got it off eBay for just a couple dollars. These things are everywhere because AM3, or the AM3 platform in general, has been around for literally years. So, yep. We are now good to mount whatever CPU cooler we want. And that CPU cooler we will want is the H105. This is a super OP cooler for this, but it's also just about the most practical here. It'll keep it nice and cool, or if not nice and cool, it'll do it at least quietly. One thing with the fans on that radiator though is that one of them has bad bearings. Thankfully, when I got the H80i for Project Pulsar over there, it came with 2 new fans, so we will go ahead and be replacing the fans on that radiator today. And not now. First, we will go ahead and move this aside and show off more of the hardware I have here. So we have the cooler, we have the memory, processor, and the motherboard. What else could there be? Well, we need some way to power that monster, so of course we have a pretty good power supply. This is a refurb unit, Corsair one, fully modular, or not fully, semi-modular, CX750M. Got this refurbished because it was only $50 or so. I think even less actually, on Newegg. And yeah, it's got CPU and 24-pin permanently attached with GPU, SATA, and VGA and whatever all there separately. So we can have a little bit of cable cleanup work. That'll be a little bit cool looking. We will need 1 SATA. I'm not going to use any Molex so they can stay in the box. Here's another SATA. That can stay in the box. And we have dual 6 plus 2 times 2 connectors. So we have one and then the other. It'll be easier to show you this way. Here we go. So it's got 6 plus 2 and then a 6 plus 2. So we can have 2 1080 Ti's in here if we wanted. I believe the motherboard supports SLI, so yep. We're going to have one for now. If we add another GPU in the future, we will use that. But for now, this is more than enough. That comes with a lot of zip ties. Cool. I will use that to my full advantage. Alright, so the box can go bugger off. Cool. Now, the old Project Magma, that had an R9 390X from MSI that was DOA, so I returned it. But before I could get the system rebuilt with a new GPU, some money issue thing popped up, and I had to sell the system incomplete as it was. So, and I'm just now getting back to rebuilding it, and I can't wait to show you the case. The case I had before was cool, but it had very limited clearance. So now, I'm going to make sure that won't happen again. This is a DIY PC case. I have had very good luck with these cases. This is a Finster, or however you say that. There, you can see the name there. This is not going to be a case review video, so let's just open it up, see if it's broken or not, and get right to building it. If you guys are interested in this case and would like me to go into more detail in a full review, please go ahead and let me know and I will get to it whenever. I would say as soon as possible, but I may not be able to get to it real soon. I'm going to tip the box upside down here, slide it out. The foam is nice and soft, I like it. The case has arrived in perfect shape. Alright, here we are in all of its unviewable glory. Now the old case I had, or actually I had a Thermaltake case that was AMD themed, quote unquote. Is that glass? No, that's not glass, it's some kind of acrylic, but it looks cool. Now the first case I had was a Thermaltake. It arrived pretty damaged. I ended up returning it. Get ready. Let's have a look at greatness. Oh no, don't stop here. Yeah. Slightly ripped it. And there's some on the other side as well. Some on top. Some on front. Alright. It looks a little bit plasticky, but I forget how much this price was. This case was not expensive, so I should not complain. I will, however, complain about the thumb screws here being not thumb screws. You need to use a screwdriver. Why do case manufacturers insist on doing this? Like, it doesn't help anything. It makes everyone's days worse. Why don't you just go ahead and use proper thumb screws that can actually be undone by a thumb? And from the looks of it, it seems like this could be a very modder-friendly case. It's just an acrylic side window here. I bet you could easily put in the glass window, no problem. In fact, it would not surprise me if they have a glass model window of this. But being that it is just plastic, we should not have to worry about breaking it, but scratching it, possibly an issue. I have seen a Hardware Connect scratch testing with their fingernail and whatever, and I've seen some cases not come out looking too well after a slight brush with a fingernail. So I will, of course, be very careful. But first, more PCMR goodness. Gotta grab it here. There we go. Not sure how well you can see through that, but it's got a slightly dark tint. Cool. So inside here we can get an okay look of what it seems like inside. We got a big manual thing. It's a pretty tall case, but that's fine. It'll fit all of our hardware very nice and easily. Front I/O. It's got a 120mm fan there. If it's a red fan, I'll keep it. If not, I'll toss it out for an Aerocool Shark fan. I know the front fans are red LEDs. Let me see if I can get the front off easily. Oh yeah. DIY PC cases are very easy to work in because they're very easy to take apart. And wow. I know you're not going to be able to see this too well, but that is some very fine, high quality dust filter. Nothing's going to get in through that. Wow, that's amazing. Very impressive, actually. I'm surprised more people don't know about DIY PC. Okay, I do see where they had to cut some corners. Yeah, the fans are screwed in from this side. How am I going to get to the bottom fan here? Oh, the bottom fan is screwed in from the front, but the front one is screwed in from the back here. So, hopefully you can see this. Screw here, and no screw here. It's into the back. I don't know why they have chosen to do this, but whatever, it's fine. Do we get any top exhaust fans? No, we do not. No top exhaust fans in this case. How easy would it be to add some? Extremely easily. Just pops right off, just like the front. Wow, even the top, even though it's got no dust filter, it looks really, really good. It is all plastic, but that's all fine. From the looks of it, if you want it to be an open, giant honeycomb style, you can go ahead and unscrew this big plastic top piece to just have it be bare airflow. That's some good design there. Let you choose how much airflow you need. If I have enough fans, I will use them, but it seems like we're going to be okay here. Now, there is one issue here, and I need to be able to install a front radiator here. And that wouldn't require me to not drop the camera. And also, the fan is here, but there needs to be one more here, like in this area. I'm trying to see here. Let's take a look. Aha! I think if we remove this one fan and move it up or something, it will be able to fit up top, because it does have slightly rail-like screw holes, so you can go ahead and move it, like slide it up and down. I forget who started that trend, whether it was NGXT or Fractal. Alright, well, I am going to move that front fan right now and just see what kind of room we are working with here. If possible, I would like to have push-pull on this radiator. Why? Well, it would look cool. And two, I do believe we could use all the cooling potential we can get. I know you're not seeing a ton of this, but trust me, it's just a fan being removed. Not too much to worry about. Which one did I miss? That one down there. That screw, always the hardest to get. There we go. Alright, so they did have the cut corner somewhere, I'm noticing. If you look carefully, there are no rubber grommets of any kind here. I am looking at it now, and it seems like I may be limited to pull only here. limited to a pull only, at least from the inside. The outside fans can stay exactly where they were. The radiator will have to go in front here, separate from them. I can have kind of push-pull with only one fan being in the right spot, but it won't be the same. Oh well. I could remove the two front fans here, but then there would be no airflow getting into the drive cage at the bottom. Because this is more than just a power supply cover, it's a whole everything cover. Because you have 3.5 inch drive slots down here. If you wanted to, it looks like you could have a hard drive or SSD on the side there. But I will just be doing the old fashioned in the basement style. Alright, so I have not looked at the back side yet. Let's see how this looks. This is a standard 2 thumb screw ordeal. There we go. Took a bit of effort, but it's off. Down here we can see that it is a toolless mounting system. Just slide it in there. And you're good to go. Power supply wiring may be a bit different, but it's nothing I can't handle. Speaking of power supply, I suppose we could just go ahead and toss it in there for the lulz right now. Or I forgot to check. How is the bottom dust filter for the power supply mounted? Alright, so that's another cheap, or cost, I won't say cheap, I'll say cost-effective solution. It's a very old style. Oh well, they had to cut corners somewhere. And that is with the rubber grommets not being there at all. It is with the bottom dust filter being old school. By old school, I mean not that great. And finally, the metal is a little bit thin in places, but I would say if you're getting this case, especially for a good price, it is well worth it in my opinion. Yes, this screw twist ties bag came with some screws. Oh hey, it came with mounts, so that it can be sitting up a bit. Does the case come with pre-installed mounts? Yes it does, so we don't need them. Oh, come on. You were in there just a second ago. Alright, the power supply is catching on something and I do not know what. There we go. Just had to slightly lift it. Now, unfortunately, I don't know of a good angle for you to see this at all. Yeah, there we go. That might work. I'm not sure if these are the standard power supply screws, but they are very short. Like, here, look at this. That is such a short screw. That'll barely hold it in there, I think. Somehow it has screw holes to mount it, the power supply the other way around, even though there's no air holes there at all. This will be difficult because they are so short. on. It's not quite getting up here. There we go, that's one corner in. That makes everything else much, much easier. Let's get it back in the frame here for you to see, if you care, if you're still here. I think that one's not quite in correctly. I will fix that as soon as I can get another one to bite correctly. There we go. Oh. I thought of something. I should have thought of it before. Yes, I cannot see what I would be plugging my modular cables into. So, take it out, put the modular cables in, then screw it back in again. My genius knows many bounds. Alright, so we have one SATA and one 6+2 pin. So that's one 6+2 pin, and let's undo this twist tie. And that is one string of, well, 4 SATA cables. Alright. That's enough to cover, like, everything I need. Okay. I do wish they would have kept the same design here. Like, they have braided cables and then they have flat cables. Like, it's either one design or the other, not both. Come on. It'll just be difference. It'll be a contrast. Alright. Let's screw this in again. How did I get this the first time? Alright, I got that one in. Can you see? Yeah, you can, kind of. That one's kind of in. And from behind here, I'm seeing another cost-effectiveness solution here. The PCIe things have a different style to them. That looks like it was cheaper and or easier to implement. But that doesn't mean they will be as effective as I think. There we go. Power supply's in. We have all the cables we will need already installed. Can we kind of hide them right now? Hope so. It'll make managing the system later much, much easier. Alright, that's all of them in. SATA cables can go in with the drive cages here, if they will stay. There we go. I can now work on this from this side. That makes everything infinitely better and easier. Now we have our screws and standoffs inside this small bag here. Non-resealable. Oh well. It comes with an extra long case screw. I don't know why. I've seen other DIY PC cases do this in the past. I guess it's just there as a compliment or something. Who knows? Alright, so since I can now put this on its back, let's begin building. Begin actually building. And before I forget, I should mention that the motherboard I got did not come with an I/O shield, so I had to buy one separately. And just have that in there first before anything else. If I can. Can I? That one corner is not going in, and I don't know why. Why? Oh, there we go. Yay. Just took some coaxing, was all. Now, where does the motherboard things go? Oh. I've cut myself somehow. Okay, buyers beware. Case deadly. That's an annoying one. Right on the index finger. That's going to be painful tomorrow. Oh well, first blood. I bet it was on the I/O shield. So, buyer beware on I/O shield. Alright, I'm going to grab a band-aid. It'll make building a lot harder, but who cares? I don't want a bloody system quite yet. Alright, well, I don't have any band-aids. None in the whole house. Add that to the shopping list. Oh well, the bleeding stopped. This project has gotten more red than I have intended. Does not seem as though I have managed to explode all over the system, so that's cool. Now where was I? Oh yes, I was seeing which holes are lined up to what, and seeing how many extra standoffs I will need to add here. Ooh, that's going to be annoying. Alright, I'm going to see how untying the twist tie here does. Then, if the cable still doesn't cooperate, I'll just remove the fan entirely. Come on. There we go, that makes it much more manageable. Seems like basically one more cross on each one. Okay. That's not too hard. And it did come with 3 more standoffs exactly. Cool. Sorry for that, I had a sneeze, so. Rather than blow everyone's eardrums out by the possibly horrible audio, I don't know yet. Yeah. Oh, I see another cost-cutting measure. We have no rubber case feet at all. Literally nothing. They are just pretty big rectangles, so I assume you could use any kind of thing like that, but still. Alright, this will be slightly more tedious and or difficult without a finger, but it'll be fine. I have pliers that can do the rest, in theory. Alright, pliers. If only standoffs were the size of a standard screw bit, this would be a lot easier. It would make a lot of systems a lot easier to work in. But no. Alright, that one's tight. I don't want to over tighten. There we go. Once they start going, sometimes they get easy for a minute. Not the case here. And that one's in. Okay. Now the motherboard. Ooh, that IO shield. That'll be annoying. Oh well. Gonna have to just press up against it. I mean, okay, it's already annoying for cutting me, but oh well. I hope it's not going to be so much more annoying. No, that's not going in. Okay. I wish I kept the standoff off so I could test what screws fit where. Should have done that before, but oh well. Alright, that one's in. Alright, all the I/O things are lining up nicely. Let's get one more in, and then we are in the clear. There we are. Come on. Screwdriver's cool most of the time, but sometimes it just doesn't want to stick to anything, and I don't know why. Oh my god, not again. Please stop. Fine, I'll do this one over here. That one's in. I'm having an issue with all of the very edge ones here. That one is just not going in at all. Okay, light time. I see what's up. Okay. Gonna loosen all the ones I have in there so far. Not take them out, just loosen them. Now I should be able to get this working. It's not being a very easy job here. Alright, maybe with that one in the corner there now in, the others will follow suit. Not that one. That's not really in, is it? Oh dear. Alright, give me a moment. Okay, they're all in there. It almost ended up with me caution my other finger, but it would have been alright. It didn't. And no, it would not have been alright. But it's in there. Hooray, yay, celebrate. USB 3 cover can go away because we will be using it. And now, I'm looking at this and I remembered, front I/O, I need to have that in at some point. It's not going to be easy. But I can't get the radiator in place with the front panel there, so you can see the predicament I'm in here, hopefully. Right, let's get a good look at this rear thing here. How do I get this up? Maybe I don't. Yeah, it's looking like maybe I don't. Okay. Nonetheless, I will go ahead and take these off. Because if you notice, the front PCIe slot, or first PCIe slot, is actually one extra slot down. Because it's got such a beefy chipset heatsink there. Or I don't know what heatsink that is, but whatever it is, it needs it. And it takes up some slot. Do I have a random PCIe slot laying around here someplace? Let's find out. Yay, I found one. It's not going to be the best cover, but it's all I've got. Alright, it's in there. Hopefully. Hashtag close enough. It'll work. I don't have a GPU currently. I've said this before, but I'll see if I can round something up or see if I have anything to get this system to post up for us. Alright, I have a video card in there. Take a guess. Take a guess. 1080 Ti? No. 980 Ti? No. GTX 580? No. I found a Zotac passively cooled GTX, or not even GTX, GT520. Oh yeah! We have the greatest system ever! A once $1,000 processor with a once 20-cent graphics card. Woo! I have no idea if that card even works. Well then, I've gone ahead and added back some PCIe slot covers here so that when I do get a proper video card, I will be able to just slide it right in. Right, the cooler. The cooler should be the next thing. Has bad fans, or not bad fans, but you know what I mean. Bad bearings. So, I will see about fixing them up. I will put the incomplete system down and bring up the cooler now. Alright, so here's the old setup here. Let's move you guys up a bit. There we go. So right now these are configured into a push. They need to be configured into a pull. And swapped out for good fans. I believe it was this one that was bad. Or which orientation did I have it in? I forget, it's been so long. I will test in my own time. It was only bad, or it made a lot of noise when it got up to max speed, or like 65 to 75% fan speed. It would get really loud and annoying. I do not believe I have ever taken the fans off of this since I first got it. Let's see how dirty this is. And actually, I am a liar. This was my workstation machine, or my test cooler. I would do this on weird projects, like trying to get a Pentium 4 to 5 gigahertz. You can guess exactly how well that went, or how well it didn't go. It's a little bit dusty. I will fire up the old air compressor and get to it so it's nice and clean. Now this cooler has been sitting around for several months, if not up to a whole year. So I wonder how the fluid does sitting around for that long. Maybe I should let it run without it being on a system for a little bit. Just to get the cycling back through. Yeah, it's a little bit dirty, not too bad. I'll test which one of these fans is actually bad and maybe sell it for parts. Alright, air compressor. It'll be loud, so I will not record me cleaning it, so that you don't have to have new eardrums again. Anyways, I will be right back. Alright, it's cleaned, and I've also gone ahead and put on the new fan, so it's ready to go in. I could use a bit of cleaning, but who cares? This was the old test system. That's what it's going to stay as. So let's bring up the computer again. See about mounting that. I was looking at how the fans here mount. It's kind of confusing. Because it looks like it's supposed to screw one in from the back, but then how am I going to be able to screw one in from the front? You can maybe see the dilemma I'm at here. Because I gotta get the cooler here. I want it to be a front-mounted CPU cooler. But we may have some issues moving forward. First of all, let me go ahead and put on the bottom fan, since it seems like that won't interfere with anything. And we'll see what to do from there. Why did I take off the bottom fan? Oh. Alright. I may not be able to do the bottom fan first. What I need to do is screw in the top fan here and see where it would line up. Shake the whole table, why not? Of course. Video card's in the way. Let's shorten this thing up. Oh dear. So many cables. Alright, that should fix that one. For now, at least. Alright, normally I would say cost-effective solution here. But no, that's just straight up bad case design on DIY PC's part. Why is this front intake like this? It makes no sense. Like for anyone wanting an exotic cooling solution like you have, like you show in your promo pics, it's not exactly an easy thing to achieve here. Okay, so it looks like if I play my cards right, I should be able to get that cooler in. So I'm going to screw in the fan all the way now. And see if we can screw it in without needing to wrestle it together. Where did it go? One more screw for this fan. There we go. That fan's in. You can kind of see how it'll be pseudo push-pull. It'll be in the middle of the two fans here. Or the two slots where fans would be, you know what I mean. Right. I need screws for that. Or where did I put them? I found them. Yay. Alright, so I want it to be in this orientation. Let's not stress the tubing way too much yet. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Question, will this fit? Is it too fat or is it just right? Looks like it'll be just right. Wow. Alright. I probably don't need to put all the screws in, but I'm going to anyway because stability and thin metal. So I've kept all the screws in a small separate bag. Gonna get the top ones first. And see where we can go from there. Magnetic screwdriver picked up all the case screws. I did not mean to do that. Alright, that one's in. Then I'm going to get a bottom one. There we go. That is actually in quite nicely. Because this is an on-rail system, I'm going to go ahead and move it as far up as I can so that it can give a good airflow to the future graphics card. Because let's face it, the GT520 in there now is a display adapter, not a graphics card. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up all, or the other screws here, make sure they're all nice and tight. Alright. I would also like to have all the screws in because the top two screws are on a breakable expansion bay if you want to add a DVD drive. That is not known for superstructural rigidity. So, yeah. I gotta move around here to see exactly where these screw hole points are. And if I can get to them. Answer is no. I cannot get to them. It looks like I could get to them though if I had the radiator down slightly. Maybe that's what I'll try. Because it is on small rails, that is an option available to me. Alright, that's all the way down, not what I wanted to do, but if it makes it so that I can get some of the middle screws in, that is more than worth it. Maybe once I get it actually in there, I'll be able to move it again. It's not wanting to go. I don't know why. Or maybe it's gone. I think the top one went in fine. Or I guess the left side one if you're looking at it from the front. Why not the right side one? Or is it actually in? Hey, what do you know, it's in. Alright, let's go ahead and tighten these up here. place. I'm going to go ahead and screw in this other front fan. If I can. Alright, seems like I'm getting it fine here. We will have a pseudo push-pull system here. Awesome. It's kind of like my old Project Supremacy, where the radiator main bits were on the bottom of the, or inside of the chassis, and big 200mm fans were outside on the outer parts of the chassis. Yay! Alright, let's give you a good look at this from the front. And by good, I mean, you can see it. So there's spin without issue. And the fans inside spin without issue. We have a super thick radiator to cool a super hot CPU. Awesome. Speaking of the CPU, it's time to mount that up. Here's our mounting bracket. Alright, that's for 51. This should be for AM3. Let's see if I'm right. Here's the back plate. Alright, that looks like the plan. This case does have a very generous sized backplate hole, meaning the entirety of an AM3 socket, or I guess AM4 socket, on this motherboard at least, is entirely covered here. And by covered, I mean uncovered. Alright, that's one. That's two. Here comes three. And last one here. That honestly doesn't seem like it's the most stable here. It's loose. This is what I get for buying a third-party bracket, I guess. None of it came with any washers. The LGA one did. I'm certain that once we get the mounting thing all on and putting pressure, it should tighten things up a bit. I'll see how that goes. If it goes horribly, then we will have a problem, and I may have to use the Hyper T4, or not Hyper T4, Hyper 212 Evo that came with the motherboard and CPU combo. Yes, they are all the way screwed down. Where's this gonna go? Right like that, maybe. Like that looks fine. Now let's point you down so you can see. Have the Corsair logo upright. The tubing will be a little bit bendy, but not too bad. Alright, let's clean things off here. Yes, I'm always going to use a GPU as a CPU cooler holder, no matter what system it is. Project Supremacy, I use my 980 Ti's as a CPU cooler. Project Magma Revival, same thing. GT520 CPU cooler holder. GT520, maybe you could understand since it's a, I have no idea if this is going to work at all kind of card, but, you know. Ooh. Not smart there. I was right on my cut. I've told you this before, I'm going to tell it to you again. My genius knows many bounds. Don't even doubt that for a second. If you say I'm an idiot, I fully agree with you. This has been sitting a while. How will 91% isopurple work? I suspect this has been sitting for so long that some of it is just dust sitting on that. There's quite a lot of sitting dust just on the radiator when I was cleaning it. Alright, get me some Arctic Silver 5, give it a nice good dab, hopefully you can see, power hungry CPU, so lots of paste. Yeah, you can't see that. Yeah, you can kind of see a dot on the CPU. Alright. Alright, before I do a stupid, let's get the mounting screws out. Problem, where's the other mounting screw? I only see 3 in here. What's going on? Oh. Why is it with that? Oh. This is very broken. That's a broken piece. And in there is a broken piece. Right, I'm going to see if I can fish that out, since I kind of need this. Alright, by some miracle I managed to get it out. Yay. Awesome, now I can actually mount this thing. Yep, that'll definitely stiffen up as soon as we get everything on there. Yeah, I know it's lifted. What are you gonna do? Alright, one more to get. Oh no! It came off. That's why they were so easy. Genius. Penny bounds. It knows it. Right then. Let's try again. This time make more of a concerted effort to hold it down. This did have a holding bracket or something, but somehow it snapped off. So yeah, the only way the bracket here can stay on is if we screw it all down all at once. I don't know how it broke in the first place, but what are you gonna do? That's my famous quote of the day. Or I guess of this 5-minute segment. Same thing. We're gonna try again here. CPU ready for isopurple. Cooler ready for isopurple. Alright, that's that one clean. That one could go for another dose. And that one's clean. Time for a microfiber. And there we go. Let's try this again. Where did the Arctic silver go? Here it is. Great big dot. There we go. I'm going to hold it down for all of them. It'll be difficult for anybody to see, even me. Even more so for you, and especially the guy behind you. I don't think he can see over your shoulder. Can you move away? Insert more creepy jokes here to be relevant. Alright, that's those two on. That's the first two corners. Alright, they're all down, or down enough. Alright, they're all hand tightened in. Alright. We're just gotta find the drive to toss in this, hook up the power, and we're good to go. I mean, okay, first, no, we're not quite good to go yet. First order of business, find out where the I/O is on this board. And by that I mean Google the issue. Alright. I need to move the whole system around. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and Google the issue. And I'll be back. This has been slightly eventful. Ooh, okay, that took a while. All the front panels are wired up. The fans are, or at least their cables are scattered around. It is not the prettiest cable managing job I have ever done. I still have the power supply yet to do. But everything major, it seems, is done. Well, you know, other than a hard drive getting in there. Let's do the most fun task of managing that big pinnacle pin. Then CPU, and then there's the GPU. CPU can split if I needed to. I needed to. Use a pair of pliers here. Cool. Get it under the board one at a time. or 1/2 at a time. Cool. We're just going to pull this all the way through for now. Wow, these are long cables. Wow, very long. Look at that. "24" is going to be the tricky one because the spot where it is on the motherboard is not exactly lined up with the spot on the cutout. So I'm going to have to strategize, you know? Alright. That's in. I'm going to put in the CPU power now. I didn't get the right angle to see this here. Maybe I should lay it down again. Oh no, the light's shining through. I can see it. Hey, we have power. And that's how much play is left on the CPU cable. And that's how much play is left on the motherboard cable. Wow. Alright, I will make great use of these zip ties and see what I can manage. But first, let's make this into a system. I have 2 hard drives I can toss in here. I have a random small WD blue, 160 gig, and I have a newer 3 terabyte WD blue. I think I'll use the 3 terabyte here, not need to use small drive yet. If I do want to add a small drive in the future, it'll be for an SSD. Alright, this is completely toolless, so that's awesome. Alright, that's in there. Let's go ahead and hook up our SATA power. Alright, I'm going to turn it so I can see how I want to route these cables. Alright, can I shove these all back under? Now there's the question. Yes I can. Awesome. I am not using a GPU cable now, but that doesn't mean I'm not, so I will keep the GPU cable in. I'll just tuck it away for now. Now let's use these zip ties, or be more efficient and use twist ties. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Oh, you can't see that. My apologies. Let's tilt you up a tad, not drop the camera yet. It seems like there is a certain way that the case wants you throughout the cables, but it seems to be a good way it wants you throughout the cables, so no complaints here. I'll use all the twist ties I have first. And then I'll use zip ties. Who knows, I may even get all of the cables done with twist ties alone. Since, let's be honest, there's not that many here. We don't have 4 GPUs. And I looked it up. If you have single slot cards, you can do 4-way SLI. That's pretty insane. Or you could do 3-way SLI with the standard setup. Really would have liked this 24 pin to be shorter, actually. It's awesome that it's very long. Gives us a lot of wiggle room, but it's also kind of in the way. Alright, let's use a bigger twist tie for this big bunch of cables over here. I was thinking it may need to be bigger for a second there. I do have a bigger one I can use. Yeah, I gotta use either a bigger one or a zip tie. Let's try the bigger one first before resorting to that. Now a small ball of cables here. That's fine. Now the side panel has a pretty good sized bulge in it, so I have no fear of anything being too squished back here. That's actually not very tight. Okay. I will use a zip tie, possibly 2 zip ties tied together to get this one big cable bunch sorted out. Awesome. And use another one over here just to crimp it down more. Awesome. Alright, let's see how that side panel fits. Oh, before I do that, let's not do stupid and hook up that hard drive. Yeah, would have been dumb. Would have lived up to the quote even more so. My genius knows many bounds. There we go. And here's the setup ports. Awesome, I can use that one. Yay. Alright, let's just tuck this under with the other set of cables. If I can, that would be awesome. It's not going to be so awesome here. Unless I can do it sideways. Ah, yes, yes, so good. I'm going to use one. There's a big one. That's nothing. That's also a pretty big twist tie. Come on. Here's some small ones. Cool. Side panel time. How easy or very difficult will you be? It's going to be one or the other. It's not got enough bulge. I have to do the traditional stand on the side panel. Alright, I will be right back. Alright, there it is. She's built. I didn't need that much pressure on the side panel. It just needed to be pressed on the top and bottom to get the channels on the side panel to correctly align. I put the side panel on. Hopefully you can see inside of there somewhat. This case is pretty good, but it does have some manufacturing flaws I found while putting the side panel back on. Because it's all acrylic, it's kind of cheap acrylic. And one of the corners is very slightly cracked, so you need to be very careful. And the other is just a type of plastic it used. It is a dust magnet. I didn't even poke it and it's already super dusty. So yeah, always have a microfiber cloth on hand. And be sure to never poke anything except for the power button. But other than that, there will be another video of the first boot of this. And the subsequent problems that will arise from that, because believe me, it's never problem free. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed Project Magma Reborn. And this has been the build log. It's been fun. Thanks, Game Boy. I will see you in the future.